Okay. Do you feel like when you stream chess, do you feel like it's like a different experience than doing it on your own? And do you feel like you're getting like worse at the game, or do you feel like it's like damaging your play or something?
I think if I was doing it all the time, it would, because the people that I play against online are not the other absolute top players. Like, I can play other grandmasters, but they're not as good as me. So if I was like streaming chess every single day, it would affect me over the long term. But I always take some breaks as well. And usually when I'm playing in an international competition, I will stop streaming for like a week or two before the tournament starts, because yes, if I'm playing people who are not as good as me and I'm beating them and I'm not having to like put in the maximum effort, which I don't most of the time when I play these other people online, then it does affect me.
Let's see. Let's see some fast action 1 minute gameplay.
You want to play 1 minute or?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you some time advantage then. Let me see how they set this up. Okay, all right. So we'll play a game with 1 minute. I'm gonna have them set my clock to 20 seconds. Okay, so you'll have 40 more seconds. Okay, just 1 second. They'll just do it automatically. Okay.
Well, how old are you in real life?
I'm 32. I've been playing chess since I was 7 years old, so I've been studying this game forever. But now, like, all these things that I just explained to you, it's so basic for me, because I mean, I've studied these things over and over and over again. I've played so many games in my life that, like, once you play a lot of games, some of these basic, like this rook and this bishop idea is very so it's your move, so go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just 1 second. Let my clock go to 10. Okay, let's go. Okay. All right, I've got 8.7, so let's see.
Okay. I knew something was up.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn. Okay. So what were you doing there? Were you like
I was doing what's called pre-moving, so I was sort of anticipating what your next move were going to be, and then I just sort of guessed correctly. So, like, at the start, what I was trying to do, since I had so little time, is just attack you very aggressively. But the way I tried to attack you was not good. So if you go to the 9th move, when I played this knight move.
9th move. Yeah.
And then you castled your king, which protected the pawn. So if I take with my bishop and my knight, you give up a rook, but you get the knight and bishop, so it's a good trade. When I put my queen out to attack this pawn again in front of your rook, if you had just protected the pawn with, like, your bishop. So let's say you move your bishop back 1 square to this g3 square.
Yeah.
I can't take this pawn anymore. And actually what happens is I put all my pieces out, but I have not castled here. So my king is still in the center. So what's going to happen is when I try to castle my king, then if I castle my king, you can push your pawn and you can force my knight back and you can take the pawns in the center of the board. So it's very important. It's very important that, like, that's why you want to get the king out of the center. But because I had so little time in this game, I immediately tried to attack you, and it would not have worked if you had moved your bishop back. But I had to try it because I didn't have much time. So I tried to cheese you basically with something that would never work if I played another top player. They would just kill me.
Okay.
Great success.
Yeah, I see what you mean though. By above, yeah, you can't use your first line of pawns at the back to defend the whatever's happening in front of them, right?
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. So it's like that. That's why like the pawn, this pawn that you have in the center of the board, you'd like to go back one square so that I can't attack on this diagonal towards your king, but it doesn't go back, so it's like it's already advanced, so you can't really do anything with it, which is why it's important, like with the pawns, when you move them, to be careful, because if you move them out too far too quickly, they never go back, and then you can end up like losing the game.
That's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so what would you do if you were like 'cause, you know, like like this is fun, like this conversation is fun, but I think I'm missing a lot of parts of like the core game itself, right? So we're like most of the things that you're gonna tell me are like you know, or like basic stuff that I should already know by just reading like rules, or you know.
Okay, so let's do something else then. Can you on the far left side, there's a tab that says puzzles.
Puzzle, yeah, I see it.
So click on that, and then you'll see something that says like Puzzle Rush.
Puzzle Rush.
Yeah. Okay, so you click on that. Okay, and now what you should click on here is just click on the far right. Yeah, click on the rush and click on that third one which says survival with the X in it.
Yeah.
No, right below that. The second line of things. Yeah, just click that X and then click start.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess, yeah, I'll just click start.
Yeah.
Okay, so just wait a second. So what you're going to see here is now this is what we call
I win here.
Tactics. Right, so I just want to see how you do with this, right? So, and once you take the rook, black takes the queen, right?
Yeah.
Right, and now that's checkmate. So now here, this is what we call tactics. So it's moves that win the game or win a lot of material at the very start of the game. So like here, again, yeah.
I don't see it.
There's a rook move.
Shit, if I take the rook, I lose mine.
Right. So is there another move you can play with the rook?
I gotta go check the king. Oh yeah, I see it now. If I check the king, okay, yeah, it makes a lot of sense now. Okay, so by doing those, I kind of understand like what are the moves that are like required. Like I start developing like patterns of what makes you win, or whatever.
Right. No, exactly.
Okay.
So now here in this position, oh, you have the white pieces. So there's again you're down a queen, right, in this position.
Yeah.
So you're down a queen. So you have to win this game right away. If you don't win this game right away, then there are going to be problems here. Right.
Wins. I win here.
And it's checkmate because the king can't move. Your bishop covers the square for the king.
Yeah. Okay. In this position, I have.
You have white, so it's a white move. Think about what you're attacking.
I see it.
Good.
I see.
So you have one less pawn here. So again, these are like the things where you look to check. You like to checkmate, win the pieces your opponent has. Then
I do.
Just think about, are there pieces hanging? Is there something that you can capture?
Oh, yes. Okay. I get it. Okay. Yeah, I understand.
Very good.
So if he wants to do something and I catch him in check, then it screws everything for that player.
Right.
Because then it sets him back one move, unless that move is coincidentally doing both at the same time. Okay.
Right, so this one's very hard. I mean, this is very, very hard. This is not easy at all. Because
feel
like
in this...
what you wanted, what you probably. Wow. Okay, go for it. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
About it.
Okay, now you have to find. Wow, that's amazing. I did not think you would get that last one. That really was amazing.
Cool.
Seriously.
Oh, these aren't very developed. This is like very sort of like early mid game.
Yeah.
But
mid game is going to be more important because I already told you what you should try to do at the start. You want to get your king away out of the board. So mid game is very important. At the level you're at, you're not going to reach these games where you have very few pieces on the board in the end game. It's all about the middle of the game.
boom. Okay.
Yeah, very good.
No, I didn't think about it. I thought I would come out ahead in that trade if I got the pawn and the knight.
Yeah, you could have moved the queen over to the side where you would have attacked the rook and put the king in check there. But it's not that crazy. This one should be pretty easy also.
Okay, I'm
right, so you have two captures. Okay, you see the pawn, you have two captures. You can capture right or you can capture left. But again, remember, in this position, you want to capture more. A bishop is always worth more than a pawn, right?
Yeah, of course. So, get that. He gets it with the queen.
But he can't take it. That's the point. Once you take, he can't take because the king is in check. The rook attacks the king.
Why is he in check?
Because the rook attacks the king all the way down.
Oh, I see it now.
And then it's not just the one piece that he loses.
Yeah, sometimes I tunnel vision. I have this thing where I want to attack something, and I don't know what that makes my other pieces attack what when I move that one.
Mm-hmm.
It's like very like one-dimensional thinking.
Right. So there's one more move here. It's pretty clear.
I mean,
no, stop. Think for a second. What are the pieces that you can again? Think about the pieces that your opponent has that are not secure. And of course, if you can take a queen is worth a lot more than a bishop. You don't want to give away the knight, right? So you got to save your bishop somehow, because a knight, if you give away a knight or a bishop for pawns, that's pretty bad.
Okay. If I take the pawn, he takes it. I take it. I come up -1.
Exactly.
So,
yes.
So if I kind of want to move backwards now because.
Well, you don't want to lose the piece, so you really only have one option here.
Oh, and that puts his queen at risk.
Exactly.
Yes. He has to do a move.
And then you actually win the queen on the next move. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So now he has to do something that would be inclined to save his queen, like he would save his king, and then I'm one move ahead if he got away with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this one's very hard. This is this one's very hard.
Okay. Well, let me think about this.
Okay, you don't really want to move your queen here.
Yeah, I figured I can bait certain moves. I feel like if I move rook.
Yes.
Rook, queen takes queen, queen takes queen, rook takes.
Yes, you have it. You have it. Yes, you have it. So what you do is you move the rook. He can't take the rook with the queen because then the king is in check.
Oh, see, that's what I'm thinking is so one-dimensional.
Yeah, because what happens, okay, the computer plays a stupid move here, but when he takes your queen, you take the rook first, and the king is in check, he has to move his king, and then you win the queen, and you have one extra rook. So, yeah. Yeah.
So now here, if I take the queen with the rook...
He gets a rook, but you've got a queen for it. So you want to... yeah, because you're way ahead. A queen is much better than the rook. Queen is the most powerful piece in the game. So if you can give up a rook for a queen, you're very happy.
Oh, easy. Okay. This is another thing that I do that is really bad. So I think of fighting like in other games, like, oh, I'm fighting, bang, bang, bang. But I don't think that, oh, I do one piece, but it's a queen. Get out.
Right. It's not just 1 for 1. Exactly. Yeah.
So then I was like, dude, I want to keep fighting to win the trade, but that makes me lose the trade overall because these 2 pieces weren't even equal to the queen that I just got.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is, remember, the 1 for 1, certain pieces, like the rook is much better than the knight. The queen, if you can win the queen, though, the queen is by far the most important piece. So you win the queen for anything other than a queen, like, yeah, it's not 1 for 1.
Wrong move. Okay. Can I go back to it? What was the move that to do?
Yeah, the move you played last one was just hard, not an easy one to play. But here, okay, so in this position, think about this. If you capture this pawn, there's a pawn that's at risk, right?
Yeah, he can't come close to it.
But if you take the pawn, what happens once you take the pawn? He has something that's very good if you take the pawn. He can then run his pawn straight down the board and make the queen.
I can't catch him.
Right, but can you push a pawn up the board and get to the end and make a queen before he gets down to the other end of the board and make a queen or not?
Yeah, because then my king puts it in check, and if he goes to get whatever I get, he can't do it.
Right. And also, so if you push your pawn, think about it like move. So you push a pawn 1 square, he pushes a pawn 1 square, you push a pawn 1 square, 1 square. You're going to push your pawn to the end of the board before his pawn gets to the end of the board.
Understandable.
By one move. You're quicker by 1 move, and then you can bring the queen back to take the pawn.
And he couldn't chase me down with the king.
Right, because your king was protecting the pawn. The king was right next to your pawn, so your pawn goes straight all the way up.
Okay. Let me think about this. I do.
There's a forcing way to make a checkmate here. It's like, I mean, bang, bang, bang. Three checks to checkmate your opponent here.
Fudge. Okay. Wait. Can I see this one?
Yeah, you click on you should click on the red. Click on that red X there, I think. And that should pull it up. The red X where below 13. That red X where you got it wrong.
Yeah.
You click that? Yeah. Okay, just X those all out. Right, so now just hit the forward button and you'll see the solution. So knight g3 is what was played. Right. So I said checks. So the first move you played was correct. He moves the knight, you make the check with the rook, right? He moves the king.
Moves the king.
Yeah.
I check my knight, and he can't, because now he's pinned or whatever.
Well, you check him again, and your bishop guards your rook, right?
Yeah.
And the king can't go to the right because you have a bishop that covers a square down the board. So he has to go towards the center of the board. And now you can move your bishop for the third check, which is checkmate.
Okay, and now it's GG.
Yeah, it's game over. Yeah, checkmate is the end of the game. It's GG.
Okay. These puzzles are pretty good. So people that are good at the game, they can do those like instantaneously, right?
Yeah, I can do those in like half a second. All the ones that you did, I can do them in half a second. Yeah.
Puzzle Rush. Okay, that's pretty cool. What one more way to learn and teach yourself the game, like when you have like time.
What's that?
Just what would be like a good way to like learn the game fast? Not like speedrun, but
like I mean, just progress. If you do these puzzles, if you know the basics, just get your king out of the center and you do these puzzles. These puzzles you'd get really good really quickly, especially at the fast times. Like you would start seeing these things instantly. If you do enough of these puzzles, you start seeing them. When you play these games with like 1 minute or 5 minute, you're gonna see these. You're gonna see a lot more, and that's how you're gonna win games at that level, is because people make big mistakes. At the very top levels, people don't make mistakes, so it's like the way you win a game is because of something very deep, like you put a pawn on the wrong square, and 20 moves later, this pawn is on the wrong square, and you lose because of where the kings are, or where a rook is in the end game. But at the lower levels, these tactics, these puzzles, if you just do these, like you do some every day, you'll get really good really quickly.
Okay.
It's by far and away the easiest thing to do.
That's very nice. Okay. But I had some like overall like questions like I mean are you like in a rush or something?
No, I've got plenty of time. I'm here. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I was just interested in like
Sure.
well, like certain things about you without like getting like too personal or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like okay. Do you feel like when you stream chess, do you feel like it's like a different experience than doing it on your own? And do you feel like you're getting like worse at the game, or do you feel like it's like damaging your play or something?
I think if I was doing it all the time, it would, because the people that I play against online are not the other absolute top players. Like, I can play other grandmasters, but they're not as good as me. So if I was like streaming chess every single day, it would affect me over the long term. But I always take some breaks as well. And usually when I'm playing an international competition, I will stop streaming for like a week or two before the tournament starts, because yes, if I'm playing people who are not as good as me and I'm beating them and I'm not having to like put in the maximum effort, which I don't most of the time when I play these other people online, then it does affect me. But for the most part, it's not an issue.
Watch
Okay.
the show. Or watch the
Yeah, because
show.
I used to have this thing where like I would compete and play the game on stream, and I really like streaming, and it would sort of damage my play over time because I did it differently. And
Right, exactly. Because yeah, it's like what you have to do, whatever the meta is, like what you have to do. And it's the same thing with me. Like if I play chess online, I know what I have to do to win the game, but I would never play like that against the other best players because it wouldn't work. They're a little bit too strong. They're a little bit too good. They would know how to take advantage of the mistake. I would play moves that just aren't quite the best. And so yeah, if I do that, it's a problem. But also if I play my best strategies, they can study the games. So it's like it's a cat and a mouse kind of situation. It's like sometimes, yeah. So it's like, yeah. So like sometimes, you when I play online, I try to play stuff that's not that best, but then I try also to help myself, because if I can get these positions that are not great, then it's then I learn how to get out of the bad spot.
Okay. Yeah. Also, what about like basic things like the chess pro lifestyle? Do you like travel to play games? Do you like go to like other countries and whatnot?
Yeah. So the tournaments at the top there, it's invitational kind of. It would be like playing like, I don't know, like the Overwatch League or something, but instead of the countries being in the US, it's like you go everywhere for every single event. So you go to like, Russia a lot, like Germany, France, Spain. So it's like all over the place. Actually, there are like one or two tournaments in the U.S., but most of the competitions are in Europe, almost all in Europe, and it's great because you get to travel, you get to meet people, and some of these competitions are in these like really, really fancy places too. So it's great.
Okay, that's really cool, man. I have so many questions, but I don't want to like bother you with like.
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I don't want to make it like too much of an interview, because the other day I sat down and I was like, I actually have a lot of questions, like things like just like mindset things. What about like your confidence and the way you see your own play? Like, does that sort of shift sometimes because some players are getting better and you see them improving or something? Is it like do you like master the game to the point where it doesn't matter because you only care about your play?
No, at the very top level, it's very marginal, the differences. Like everybody can play really good. Everybody knows all the strategies to follow when the game starts. So a large part of it is psychological. So for example, there's certain people that I play, like most people in the world who are also at the very top, when I play them in blitz competitions, I play almost perfectly. And there are one or two people who I play against where when I play them, my level is much worse than it is against the other guys. So psychology plays a huge role. And then also because most of the top players, it's this circuit where we see the same guys over and over at the same competitions. Like if you beat someone, like let's say you play someone in a competition, you beat them, you play them in another competition, you beat them, like it starts to get in their head that like they've lost you several times and that they can't compete with you. So psychology is very, very, very important. It plays a very big role.
That's really cool. Okay. What about the tournament structure and whatnot? Is there like prizes, like circuits, like a certain lifestyle you have to play around the circuits or whatever? Like
yeah, so there is a circuit, mind you. It's probably like the top 10 players in the world. It's called this thing called the Grand Chess Tour. Where basically everybody plays in 4 tournaments. You play in 2 tournaments that are slow chess, the games that go up to 5 hours, and then you play 2 tournaments with the rapid chess, so like 15, 20 minutes for the whole game, and then also blitz chess with 5 minutes for the whole game. And usually, because chess is so much more popular in Europe, if you finish even at the bottom, like let's say it's 10 players, you finish 10th place, you still get like $10,000 anyway, because they structure it more in a European style. So you get money, you make prize money regardless, actually, but you have to be up there to begin with.
Yeah, of course. Is there like a lot of contenders and like people getting like really better and like?
There's been one guy who's been the top player for a while now, the world champion. It's a guy from Norway. He's been the number one player in the world for probably like the last 7 or 8 years. But there are like 2 kids who are pretty young who are starting to get really, really good. And it's crazy because one thing with chess that's different with a lot of other things is now with the internet, the best players can come from all over the world. So like there's a kid from Iran who's like probably the next up and coming chess player. He's like 16 years old, and he's already competing with the top chess players. But like in the old days, you had to be around the other guys to get the knowledge. But now you can any kid can just like use the computer and pick up all this knowledge pretty much instantly.
Okay. I didn't know there was actual knowledge you could get from other players. Like
yeah. So like okay. So like this. I'll forget our games that we just played. But let's say you played a really good game against me in the games we just played. I would actually remember this game for a while, and then I would go into the chess software and study your moves that you played for the first like 10 to 15 moves that you made. And so like there are databases with like millions upon millions of chess games, and so everybody's looking at the same data. But in the old days, you kind of had to like you had to be around the other chess player because you didn't have the information right there. But now like everybody can just go on their computer and look at these databases with the opening sequences of moves and learn from it. So everyone has the same information, which is why the psychology plays such a big role.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Then okay, so what about when you play online? I see like a lot of like ratings or whatever. Is it like you just queue up and you get matched with somebody and then you get like a plus 0.01 elo or whatever?
Yeah, so everybody you play, depending on the ranking, yeah, it's like if you play someone who's like your ranking, you gain like 10 points. If you play someone who's lower ranking, you can lose like 10 points. The maximum points you can lose is 16. But it varies depending on your ranking. But for every game, you gain or lose points. And I usually challenge people. I'm much higher than everyone else on the site. Like I'm like close to 3,300, and next player is like 3,150. So every time I play these guys, I actually have to beat them by like a 3-1 or 4-1 margin in order not to lose ranking points.
Damn. Okay. What about okay? One more question. What about sort of your mindset? Like, do you feel like it varies like how you're gonna play based on the day? Because you put so much time into the game and you have so much knowledge about the game. Do you feel like if you queue in the morning or at night, it doesn't matter? Like, you feel like when you queue, like when you're angry or not, it won't change your play. Like
I mean, like if I'm emotionally, if I'm angry, it will change my play. I'll play much worse and much more aggressively. Which sort of changed it because like normally against most of the grandmasters I play, I know what I need to do to beat them, and that means like getting the game going further and further where I have more time on the clock, and then I can just sort of use the technique that I have at the end of the game. So like if I'm angry, I'm aggressive very early in the game, and then these guys can actually play on the same level that I do, and they can actually like come up with moves and things that actually are good enough to defeat me. So like emotionally it does, but the time of day really doesn't matter. Although sometimes like I know that I'm not playing very, very good chess. I can feel it. Like there are little things like I use too much time on this sequence of moves, or I'm not seeing this combination of moves that where I lose these pieces. So like I can kind of shift it up a little bit because in chess there are, I mean, probably with the black side of the chess pieces are like 10 different opening choices you can play even from like move 1. So I just switch it up and try to find what works. But time of the day doesn't matter. But mentally, like if I'm in a bad mood, I play much differently. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because for some reason I see you play and I'm like, oh, like this is so like not linear, but it's almost like you saw in advance and almost like it was almost like you're a bot, you know?
Yeah, and that the reason is like that's why actually I'm very, very good at the really fast chess, because that's like just intuition. It's like I've played so many games that intuitively I can sense the board. I can sense what are the good moves in the positions. And when you can sense what the good moves are, like you can sort of anticipate then what your opponents will do.
Okay. Okay, I have one more. I have one more. One more. Yeah. What about like the passion you have for the game, or like the competitive fire, like is it still there? Like does the game still passionate? Because don't get me wrong, I'm not like trivializing it, but since it's like such like I feel like an old game, and competing, you kind of have to like to travel in the world to like compete. Does it seem like you're like passionate about the game? Do you like love what it used to be for you?
I love what the game is, but one of the things, unlike like a lot of games, is because it's so old, it's changed. So when I started getting really good, I became like 2,200, which is called the master level in chess, when I was 10 years old. Like when I started playing at a very young age, it was more like you just have this wooden chessboard and you look at sequences of moves, you have your strategies, and that's it. Whereas now it's much different with the technology. So it's like you end up memorizing like hundreds upon hundreds of opening sequence moves at the beginning of the game. And so like that part of it I don't like. 'Cause to me, when I started, it was much more about intuition. It was like it was like much purer, because it's like finding the best moves. Now with the computers, which are better than humans, by the way, with the computers, it's more about like finding the absolute best moves and then memorizing the sequences and so forth. So that definitely makes it tougher. Overall, I still enjoy the game, but the whole aspect of studying chess is much harder than it used to be. So I still have passion, but it takes a lot more effort and work than it used to.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thanks for answering all the questions. That's really cool, man.
Yeah, no problem.
I want to know what it was to be like a chess pro, because we don't really see it often. We see it a lot of them with like, with all social media, we can sort of understand what it is to be an esports pro, whatever. But with chess, it's kind of like it's more like in the shadows.
Right. Yeah. It's not out there as much. But that's also why I like the streaming, because I can kind of try to bring it out for people, because if you go see a chess competition, you see the fast moves and this sort of stuff, but it's not like you can't actually feel it or understand it. So like when I do these games and I make these 20 arrows and all this other stuff, like I think it's another way of trying to popularize it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So last thing, what is your your next sort of like event or big thing to?
Yeah, so like this virus kind of killed everything I had. Like I was supposed to play a tournament in Romania next month, and a tournament like in London and Paris and all these places. So everything actually is kind of canceled right now. But the next big tournament will probably be that I know for sure will be the World Championship of Blitz Chess and Rapid Chess. Two separate events. It's a competition held over 3 days, and I played it last year in Russia. And in the Rapid, which is the 20 minutes around, I finished. I believe I finished third place in that, and then in the Blitz section, I finished in second place as well. So I finished third place and second place, and they have that one time a year, the World Championship, and it's in like December. So that's the next big event for sure that I have, and hopefully I win.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, and the prize money, by the way, on those is very serious too. It's like 100,000 for first prize, so it's quite serious.
100 rocks. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you have I like the energy you have, dude. I said that before we even started talking, dude. I like like the intensity. I like when you talk and it's like
let's get going. Yeah.
Yeah. What about that? I feel like do you have like a daily regimen you do or something like that, or do you? No,
I was gonna say that's one thing that I don't actually, but like a lot of times when I queue up and I play chess online, I'm playing against kids actually. They're very good as well. But like usually when I play like 20 or 30 games against them, they're like tired. They're ready to stop, and like usually I just want to keep going. Like it's like I just want to play another 50 games or 100 games with them. So I think it's just I have it in me. It's just like I love the game.
Cool.
I really love playing it. It's just a lot of fun.
All right, man.
Yeah. Good.
Well, okay. I'm probably gonna call it here, but I hope we can have like another like open conversation type of thing. Like
Sure.
I like that. I like this flow of discussion. I could talk for hours.
Yeah, I could too. Yeah. No, it's great
That's really
though.
cool.
Yeah, and I follow your stream quite a bit too. So I mean, it's like
That's really true, man.
awesome.
Well, I'm super grateful you took the time to talk to me today, man.
Yeah, no problem. I enjoyed
Thanks
it.
for coming on.
Yeah, all right.
Go on.
See you.
Okay, thanks so much. Goodbye.
Bye. All right, everybody, how's it going? Back to chat. Those of you who are here, because I know there are a lot of you guys watching from xQc stream. What we're gonna do here is I'm gonna do my own puzzle rush to show you guys how it's done. Let's actually wrong scene. Sorry, one second. Let me go here. Okay, we're gonna do puzzle rush, and I'm still gonna do the survival mode. I actually, you know what? There are a lot of you guys from. Should we do 5 minutes? Yeah, let's do 5 minutes. So I'm gonna do 5 minutes for the whole thing. Okay, so I got to get as many right as I can. Okay, check. Takes. Checkmate. Check. Go check. Let's go takes. Let's go check and check. Let's go takes and takes. Let's go check and just takes. Let's just go knight d7 and take the rook. Let's keep going. Let's go check takes. Let's go knight bishop b3 takes. Let's go checkmate. Let's keep going. Checkmate. Let's just go queen a4, take the knight, just take the bishop. Let's keep going. What is this? Queen e8 and bishop d3. Yeah, okay, king e2, good. Let's just keep going. Just queen d6, good. Takes and takes is good. Let's keep going. Queen d8 and bishop f4 is checkmate. Let's keep going. Let's go e3, e2, make a queen. Let's go queen a3. Let's just take the queen and go king h7. Let's go rook c3, checkmate. Let's keep going. Knight h5, queen h3, and rook h4. Yeah, very good. Keep going. Queen a1, check, and just take the rook. Queen a7, check, and check. Mate. Take the queen and take the rook. Let's keep going. Queen f2 and rook c1 takes is mate. Just rook d2 and king e8 is just taking, and this is just good. Let's see, just rook c8, queen c8 is good. Let's go check. And it should be, wait a second, rook d1, king d1, bishop g4. I think it's bishop g4 and just take. Okay. Should be check, queen f5, queen f6. Just take the queen, take the rook. Should be takes and take the queen and go d5. See, it should be check and knight a3 is checkmate. Check. Oh, yeah, it's bishop g5. Okay, let's see. So takes, queen b2, takes. Okay, I've got 307, so I have a lot of time. I think it's rook e2 and just takes and queen f1. So I can play knight e4 and then he takes. I can play what's my move here? Knight e4, fe4. What is attack? Oh no, it's knight f5 and queen d5 check, and I win the rook on a8. Should be just takes and rook b3. A2 or bishop c3. Bishop c3 takes. Wait, no. Yeah, king a4 and takes. Wait, key 6, rook h5, queen g4. Rook h5 takes, check, king h6. G5, rook e6, queen g4. Just takes and take. Queen g7 takes, rook a8, check and take the queen. Knight e2 maybe, check and take the pawn, take the queen. G3 and king f8 and queen e4, king e7. Queen h3, knight h4, bishop c1. Queen d1's no good. It's got to be takes. No, h3, knight f2. Queen g3 and takes. Okay. Rook f8, king f8 is good. Bishop h5. I think it's takes and queen h7. Yeah, check, and then we just check and take the queen. Okay, so knight g5 is, or check knight g, yeah, check knight g5, knight e4, and take the knight. Okay, rook f4, king e3, rook g4, or king f2. Yeah, king f2, check and make a queen. There's rook e7, there's bishop d4, bishop h3, king g1. What do I have? 43 seconds. Let's try to get to 50. Anything less than 50 would be... check. King G1. King H1. D7. Wrong. Okay. Knight F3 or Queen C? King G3, Knight F5. No, Knight F5. Good check and Knight F5. Yep. Okay, 50. Takes. I couldn't get the last one off. Ugh.